and I'll announce your presence. Make sure you turn off your volume, otherwise it'll screw you up on live stream. You'll,
I'm not on live stream.
okay. Okay, traders. Hello, this is Cousin Vinny coming back to you, theclosingprint.com, with an interview. Mic check, 1, 2, 3. Mic check, 1, 2, 3. An interview with Mike Clark, or Pete Clark, sorry. Mike Clark is my neighbor next door. Pete Clark is with us. He's going to talk about what got him into trading, what his aspirations are, what he foresees in his future for trading, and a few other things. He's a member, trading theclosingprint.com. Pete, how's it going today?
Hey, Vinny, it's fantastic to be here, and thanks for the invite. And thanks for all the hard work you've done for all of us. That's super appreciated by me.
Let me ask you a question. You said that you are in the medical profession. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. I'm in my late 50s. I've been a nephrologist, which is a kidney doctor now, for many, many years. And I went to part-time about 3 years ago. And I knew I needed a new challenge because I could see my career winding down. And my wife suggested that as a career change, that I learn how to manage our investments. And so in January of 2015, I took over a chunk of our retirement money and proceeded over the next 2 years to lose about 40% of it.
Oh, wow.
It wasn't my entire retirement, but it was a good chunk of it. And
was that during
I realized I just didn't know enough.
When exactly did that happen? Was that in 2008, 2009, or?
No, that was in 2015. With the different.
August 2015. Yeah.
And I didn't know what the hell I was doing, to be honest. I was listening to people on television. I had no experience. I was just an arrogant doctor who figured he could figure it out on his own without any help.
Yeah, that's common. That's common.
Wrong.
Well, that's very interesting because there's a lot of people in the same predicament. How did you find us?
So, I want to say in 2016, probably in the summer, for whatever reason, I was looking at different stocks that I had invested in on StockTwits, and your name kept popping up, and I liked what you had to say, and so I followed you on that. And when I saw that you were doing weekend videos, I started watching those, and then I really liked what you had to say. It was so helpful, and it really jived with how I started to feel about the markets, that it wasn't about what somebody said the stock was valued at, but it was more like, hey, things are worth what someone's willing to pay for it.
Yeah, price action, right? Yeah, price action.
Exactly. And so when you offered your subscription, I was one of the first ones to join. And it's been a godsend.
Okay, so apparently you like trading with a strategy-based approach to the markets.
Yes.
Yeah, so you had mentioned that you're in MMedics, MDXG. Did you say you're added to this today?
Do it today, yes.
Yeah, so why did we add? Do you know why we added to this position?
Well, sure. I mean, it had previously had a low. If you're following the flags, it had a low, and then it broke through to the next flag higher, so it was time to add.
Yeah, so we had a strategy. Price moved back above the 9 and the 20 EMA. You followed the strategy, you followed the rules, and you added today. We talked about it during the trading session that we shouldn't add until we take out that pivot high that I'm showing the chart that occurred on, let's see, today's Thursday. On Tuesday, there was a pivot high, reversed, moved back down to the 20 SMA. Yesterday, it followed through, and today we had what we call a continuation day. So you added when we pushed back above that level, and that was, a very smart move, and the way we do it every single day. So hopefully we'll.
Yeah, you really showed me the light.
Awesome. So as what are some of your aspirations and goals as a trader? Can I ask you?
Sure. So as I realized actually over the past 6 months of doing trading that I finally come to, with the help of other traders actually in the room, understanding better risk management and
Excellent.
position sizing, and then when to buy and basically when to sell. That I realized that I could do this regularly, and that when I was able to spend the time with it, when the time that I was off, I
Mm-hmm.
actually did quite well.
Yeah, yeah.
And so I said, you know what? I'm tired of medicine. I'm tired of waking up, working all night, long weekends, 100-hour week. Gee, I'd much rather work from home. And I actually kind of have an odd living situation where my wife lives in Arizona and I live here. She's got a business there, and I go back and forth, and I'm pretty tired of it. So I told everybody that December 31st I was retiring, and that I'll be a full-time trader as of January 1.
Well, Pete, let me ask you this: your avatar and the little blurb that goes underneath it says, "I fix kidneys and golf." So does that mean you're a golfer?
I am. I love golf.
Yeah.
That's
So
something I took up living in Arizona.
yeah, yeah, that's a beautiful place to play golf. As long as there's no thunderstorms and lightning storms. They had some hell of a lightning storms out there.
Just during the summer.
Yeah, just during the summer. So, I want to get back to your goals and aspirations, because I think that's very important that we talk about that. So, can you elaborate a little bit more on your goals now that you want to retire and get out of medicine? You want to do this,
Well,
and
so
go ahead.
you showed me that by being reasonably careful and prudent, but still investing, that you could easily make $250 a day roughly doing this. And I've actually looked at my own account, and for sure I've done that virtually on average every day for the last 3 months. And I've increased my portfolio by 10% in just about 8 weeks.
That's awesome. That's an awesome job.
And
So
it seems so reasonable.
let me ask you another question. All right, so as a doctor, you have a workflow. I mean, I like to say, my buddy Russell that lives down in Houston, I like to talk to him about this from time to time. Every profession, whatever you do, whether you're a plumber, you're a doctor, you're an architect, engineer, whatever, you have a workflow every day that you go through, that to do it, to be very good at what you do, you have to follow that workflow. And as a doctor, you have a certain set of things that you do every single day. And trading's not that much different, in that if you set a few rules, some criteria, and some strategies, you can actually be very successful at this.
In my own particular specialty, it's a lot about trends and patterns anyway, and it's a lot of hard data
Mm-hmm.
and numbers that you use. And so I'm used to looking for patterns and looking at data.
Yeah.
And this suits me very well as far as how I look at either my profession as a nephrologist or now in the future as a trader.
Mm-hmm. Well, it'll allow you the opportunity to make most of your money in the morning and go play golf in the afternoon.
That's pretty much my plan. So I probably will not trade on Wednesday morning. That's my kind of routine golf day down there.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's excellent. Well, I'm really glad that you've joined us at the Closing Print. We have a lot of varied type strategies. What is your strategy? If you thought you could put it down in words, what is your favorite strategy? Or to put it better, are you a long-term swing trader? Do you like to mix it up? Do you like day trading? What do you like to do the most?
I don't mind doing swings or day trades,
Mm-hmm.
but I look at different patterns for the different trades. For swings, currently what I've been doing is I've been looking for the IBD stocks that have had a pullback, and then I look at when the 9-hourly EMA crosses the 50-hourly EMA. To me, that it seems to frequently signal the end of this current downtrend, and I take a buy there. It's worked out more often than not, and that's how I look for swings. Then for the day trade, I love the breakout, the trade of the day, and I just trade those. I'll turn them into swings if, as you've pointed out, they end up in the upper range of their trade at the end of the day. I'll try then swinging them.
Excellent. Yeah, that's a good strategy. We like to take a stock, like, for example, that's my wife trying to call. If we take something like MDXG and we take it on the flag breakout, which happened right around 1472, we added around 1485 on another flag breakout, and we just kept moving our stops higher. The fact that it moved and closed near the highs of the session, we decided to swing that. So that's good. You swing and you do day trades. So that's excellent.
Well, you showed me how to do it.
Excellent. So I had a couple of other questions for you. My wife's throwing me off track here. All right, we talked about your aspirations and your goals as a trader. And you mentioned how you're doing. You're up 10% since joining, or since when? How long has it been since you've been up 10%? Just over the last month, 2 months?
Oh, no, over the past just 6 weeks. I actually take pictures of my positions at the end of each day with my phone. Right now, when I'm working, I trade with my phone, and then I can actually compare where I am on any given day at the end of the day to where I am today, and I'm up 10% since the end of April.
Now, you just mentioned something very interesting, and something I like to say, which is very true. If you really know what you're doing and you use a strategy, you don't need a bunch of screens and a couple of computers. All you need is a cell phone, and you can trade using a cell phone if you know what you're doing.
That's exactly what I have been doing. Usually, between when I have breaks, I'll actually turn back on the live stream and listen to what you have to say. And I'll look at my positions, and I usually the night before, actually early in the morning before I get up out of bed, I actually go through everything and review potential setups, the ones that you've put in on the for the weekly, and then I look at on stock charts. I call up the candle glance of the IBD 50 list and look at all those. Look which ones look like they might be good setups for the morning.
Yeah, that's excellent. Well, the IBD 50 is probably, that's my wife calling. The ringing will stop in a second. But the IBD 50, the reason why we focus on that is because we don't have to be so concerned about fundamentals, because that's already figured into the stocks that are listed on the IBD 50. So to start with the IBD 50 and then look at competitors, that gives us a good sense of what might be running. But then we look at the sectors and industry groups, which stocks are working the best. It sounds like you've got a pretty good plan together.
So far, it's the proof is in the pudding. I am looking forward to seeing, what we do or how well I do when the market is just churning, or when we actually have a down market. And that's all good, because I feel like we just follow price action.
Yep. Well, when markets are down, that's a different strategy. As you may have known, have you been a member since April or earlier?
I've been a member since I've been a member of.
You're back in March of 2016, right?
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. That's what I thought. I remember. I mean, because Clint Eastwood's one of my favorite actors. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. The fact that you've been with us this long, and you really started to kick into gear the last 6 weeks, that's awesome.
had to do with learning all these different things that you've preached, and actually some of the other really excellent members are Crimson Heart and Heart Pumper have been awesome. Also, I really appreciated their input, and they've talked with me off hours about been super helpful.
Yeah, they are the team. I like to say the teamwork in the room is probably one of the best features of being a member. That there's just so much going on between the block trades channel, knowing where support and resistance is, what stocks. I mean, Crimson likes to post quite a few charts that helps out because we're able to go through those. And the IBD 50, just everything about the trading room is very conducive to whether you're a new trader or an intermediate trader or an advanced trader that may be missing a piece of the puzzle. When you boil it down to a strategy, something as simple as where is price relative to the 9 and 20, that can make all the difference in the world. And when you look back at April, this is something I want to point out. March, April, the markets moved lower. And as the markets were moving lower, the watch list actually performed very well during that month.
It did.
Yeah. So, you mentioned, you said that you found out about us through StockTwits, and you kept seeing my name pop up. So that's good to know. Every once in a while, I'll post something on StockTwits as a freebie, if you will, and see how that goes for people, just to help them out if I can. And
I don't need StockTwits anymore. I've got the closing print.
Yeah. I still look at the stock every once in a while. I'll watch, what Howie is looking at. Like last night, I was giving a lot of, I did a lot of homework on Baozun, BZUN. The stock didn't go anywhere today, but I got a feeling this one's going to move higher over the next several weeks. There's a number of stocks that look really good. What I want to ask you? What is your best winner since you joined the group here at the Closing Print?
Oh, for sure, NVIDIA.
NVIDIA. When did you take NVIDIA?
I've been trading it back and forth, and I decided to take a lotto on the night before earnings of 106, and that was a really good choice.
Yeah, it was. Well, you know the difference between, the reason why we call it a lotto is because it's literally not a strategy. It is a gamble or a bet, And
that was correct.
And, it can go either way or it can go flat, and the biggest mistake a lot of traders make is they make too many opinion trades and not enough strategy-based trades. I think the biggest takeaway of any member, if you were to ask them, members of the Closing Print, they'll tell you that the strategies are what make the difference. I mean, it takes away the opinion. You can see what price action is doing. When a certain set of triggers occur, then you got a long, and when you're wrong as well. So NVIDIA, I'm looking at it on the screen, that broke out around 105. I remember that very clearly because I sold it too soon, and it ran up another 17 points on top of what we made. So now it's at $160. I sold that one yesterday. And are you still holding any shares or options?
I'm still holding common. I haven't had a compelling reason to sell the shares, and they've been moving up. It hasn't closed below the 9 EMA yet, and that's kind of one of the, in a long time, that's one of our rules that we've used, and I just have stuck with that.
Yeah, the 9 and 20 EMA it's basically about at a 50-degree angle to horizontal, and I tell you, that stock, I mean, I keep selling it when it gets really extended like it did today. Yesterday, I probably sold it too soon. Well, I know I sold it too soon because it ran up another 10 points today. But, that's good, man. I'm glad that everything's working out for you.
I said one of the things that really helped me also was forgetting the FOMO trade. You know, so many times I would buy stocks right at the open.
Yep.
And then they would just crash, and I would be just so furious at myself. Why did I do that? And since I learned to just wait for the opening range, just be patient, things will still work out. There's other buses if you've missed the particular trade. It just made my life a lot easier, less stressful.
Well, you know, it's a very good segue, because this morning I was looking at BZUN, or BAOZUN, BZUN, and I was saying to traders that it's up pre-market. We intended to trade it today, but I would recommend that everyone just take a back, sit on their hands. Don't trade it pre-market, because it was up at $25, and it did exactly what you just described. It faded the pre-market highs, and it literally gave everything back and then some. Yeah. So this one is one where a strategy, it's flat. SOTMA is flat, so there's no reason to trade this right now. We have a position in it, but we know that at some point it's going to break out and move above the 9 and 20, and we'll get some momentum on it. Right now I can look at it. MACD's flat, no reason to get into it. Compared to MDXG, which is SOTMA, is like 60-degree up angle, 70-degree up angle, similar to what we see on NVIDIA. So you seem to have a very good grasp on the strategies, and I wish you luck. I think this is going to really do your retirement well. You'll gain back the money that you lost, and then you'll be on your way. So I'm glad that you've joined us at the Closing Print.
I am very glad to be part of the Closing Print. Thank you again so much. Karma is a wonderful thing, and I want to help as much as I can also.
Yeah. Well, listen, Pete, I'm going to have to cut it short. I knew we were going to do about a 30-minute interview, but it is my son's birthday. I want to get upstairs, get him ready, and I'm going to take everybody out to dinner for family. Thanks for joining us tonight, Pete. Pete Clark, a member from theclosingprint.com. I wish you well, and we'll be looking forward to seeing you in the trading room, Pete.
Thank you, and good night.
All right, take care. That's Pete Clark from theclosingprint.com, one of the members. I'm glad you had a chance to join us tonight. Take care. If you're interested in an interview, tell us about yourself. Send me a DM, and we'll talk about it and see what your interests are. And we'll give you some time to share your ideas, aspirations, and goals with other members in the room. Take care. Hope you have a good evening. This is Vinny from theclosingprint.com. We'll see you tomorrow.